Okay, the stream should be starting relatively soon. Please give me one moment to get everything updated. There's like the YouTube thumbnail and all that sort. YouTube should be good. Let me update the Twitch, not Twitch, Rumble description. Yeah. And I think that's all good to go. Let me just verify the streams are working fine, and as well on my other computer. Yep, looks like the streams are going good on my other computer, so let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 3 replay. Not Age of Empires 3, Guerrilla 3 replay. Spawn top right side as is Cyan Empires. We have Ghost Killer. I'm not sure which way the map is going, but spawn on the left side as the orange allies, we have Rex Chance. Spawn on the bottom left side as the red allies, we have Mr. Biggie Bin. And spawn on the right side as the green Soviets, we have Raihu 0925. And looks like the Dojo Corps is heading down south, so I think it's top versus bottom. We do have a handful of Peacekeepers pushing way out as well. We do have a Dogi as well. Now we got 3 dogs coming on forward. And no, he's not a broadcaster from Fallout 3. Dogs may find each other. Do got 2 Peacekeepers here. And do have the shotgun blaster. I think he could have got a bark off to stun them both. Those the other 2 dogs are playing fetch the oil refinery for the United States. And those dogs get gunned down just like the ATF wanted. Over here we do have a Dojo Corps coming on out. The let's see. I'm getting all my games confused up. The Soviet player is making his way to the center of the map. They'll have a Crusher Crane here. No walls just yet. So it looks like the Green Soviets eyeing from some early expansions, potentially. Going perhaps in the middle of the... maybe going really, really greedy. Green may need to go out for some defenses here. There are some handful of garrisons on the high ground. Orange to claim the oil derrick. We've got red and now advancing forward with a massive wave of peacekeepers. Granted, his opponent has kept the oil derrick, so it's only profit right now since it's originally neutral. And we do have the orange dog spotting the green MCV. We got a flak cannon being pulled out. Now realizing the allies up the top left, he knows up north, top right is the Empire player. And we got a whole lot of power generators right there, as well as a dry dock. Very nice. Good number of Imperial Warriors here. No wall segments here. This may, no offense to the players, this may be a bit of a lower rank game. Because I don't see any wall segments. Oh, we do have some wall segments here, but no wall segments for the southern players or the Empire player. Refinery will go down quite easily. And we've got a mass solar assault there. We got now a pair of ore refineries being deployed down. Cyan and orange needs to punish this as soon as possible. Why is there so many ore refineries? And why is the soft focus so high that it's sort of blurring out and ultra bright? Either way, we do have another ore refinery coming out. He's going for expansion right there. Imperial Warrior supported by tank busters there. There's no defense here whatsoever. He could at least deploy out some sort of like sentry gun. Not going for a crush just yet. Now he's trying to go for crush. Will not get that Imperial Warrior. Gets that Imperial Warrior of all of them. Needs a barracks out or something. He may be just going to abandon that region there and just going for a 3rd refinery there. Now got a pair of dolphins. He saw the flak cannon, so he's trying to bring this very sadistic dolphins. We got a Tesla Corp being pulled on out, but there's just so much money being withdrawn, and his opponent already got a hydrofoil there to jam the Tesla coil that's not even deployed out. And it's actually some great splash damage there. Takes out the flak tower there. He was actually hitting the ore refinery the entire time. The ore refinery does go down. You have a multi-gun turret here deployed by his teammate. Teammate need to get out. May need to get out another multi-gun turret there. MCV's advancing forward, and one peacekeeper is chasing all of those peacekeepers. And Cyan was not paying attention. It does clean up that those tank busters there. This coil has been completed. Ore refinery is going on down. He needs a Stingray. Stingray has been deployed out. Of course, there's the weapon jammer. Engineer being deployed out of all things. And that heroic dolphin takes a Stingray hit there, as well as the veteran one. And both the super reactor there does sell off the last moment. Now the engineer's going to go for the MCV. Now he may go for the naval yard. And I think the dry dock, yeah, the dry dock is actually healing dolphins. So I was sort of curious about as well, does the dry dock heal dolphins? And the answer is yes. They're biological, they have the health healing symbol. Now I'm wondering if the Allied Engineers medical tent can heal dolphins. And what was that one doing? The dolphins are getting good hits there onto these. What the hell? Why did he open up an ore refinery there? His teammate does a good job of retargeting towards the defender core. And the green MCV may actually get killed off right here. Black Cannon now receiving some fire from the Riptide. The orange Allied player is now expanding out to the center. And the Soviet players has a crusher crane and a oil derrick or oil refinery. That's it. He's not completely out of the game, just severely crippled. Orange's main base now receiving some fire from these guardian tanks. And it looks like the flak tower does go down. Both multi-gunner turrets are down. Do still have a chopper VX here. Teammate has well another multi-gunner IFV. As well as ore refinery still up and going. He has someone employed, but not needs to cancel that in order to deploy it out. I'm not sure what the pressure crane's doing. I am not sure what the Soviet player's doing in the first place. Multi-gunner turret does go down. I think the Soviet player is just backed out of the game. Final squadron being deployed on out by the Empire. And yeah, the Soviet player is basically out of the game now. Up north, we got the Guardian tanks did make a breach in one of those wall segments. Now going to be pushing down another wall. Perhaps can go inside the walls now. Vindicator charging on forward, gets a good bomb run there onto a Guardian tank. And the Chopper VXs will take out that Soviet ore refinery. Oh, we got a bugged out harvester here. That's a shame. And wait, there's a Soviet combat engineer here? Oh, he did have some infrastructure here. Built a battle bunker as well as a barracks. What is he doing with the combat engineer? Is he going to go for the naval yard? His teammates, guardian tanks are falling back. Is he going for the dry dock? I love how the engineer just straight up deployed out the rubber raft while lounging. Good bomb runs there. He overkilled, of course, the engineer. Soviet players basically out of game. Riptide is fully heroic somehow. And the Guardian tanks do finish off those Riptides. Orange is expanding down the center, has two refineries here. This refinery is Prospector's being replaced. This Prospector has been retasked up. Howdy. And the Empire player is expanding out. Pushing with MCV down south with his tsunami tanks. And over here we've got more Vindicator bomb runs. Hitting the Prospector. Takes 5 Vindicators to bomb a Prospector. Prospectors and other ore collectors have damage resistance versus Vindicator bombs. Over here we've got the tsunami tank moving the way down south. Now we've got the multi-gunner IFVs getting some great hits there. Notice they got one of the Vindicators. The other Vindicators do receive some damage, but they're still alive. And the Allied player surrendered, giving all the infrastructure to the Soviet player. Okay. Yeah, this game's just not a very good game, honestly. Empire player could be a bit more aggressive. Up north, we do have these Guardian tanks advancing forward, trying to get some good hits on in. Maybe they'll get some, take out one of these prospectors. The other one could perhaps start battering down the wall to get the other prospector. Empire player is bringing some more and more forces. And now we do have a pair of battle bunkers. As much as I'd like to see battle bunkers, this is not the time for battle bunkers. We got another combat engineer being blown out, trying to go up the dry dock, I think, again. Mini Laser does get some good hits there onto that power plant, and he does bomb both Guardian tanks down. Empire player is advancing forward, getting some good hits there onto the ore refinery. More combat engineers, okay. The Empire player will advance forward, has some good infantry support out his Chopper VXs. Two of the Imperial Warriors actually fully heroic as well. And the refinery does go down. Over here, of course, got the refinery, or the power plant going down as well. Now the Empire is making its way up north. Got more Vindicators coming on in. A lot of AA for green. A little bit overkill there on all that stuff, and he's going to lose a lot of Vindicators. Got cryo shot there. That's not going to be very useful. And we do have the Chopper VX Space Force. Tsunami takes Space Force as well. He does have a large number of Flak Troopers inside these battle bunkers. No. The Empire player's forces will get cleaned on up. The Guardian tank managed to stay alive. And there's 3 battle bunkers completely filled with Flak Troopers. There's another one there. Not sure how much each one's filled. Let's take a quick look over to him. Has some combat engineers inside them. Okay.
Multi-gunner at your service.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see. This is the. Which player is this? The Allied player up north has 10,000 credits. Needs to spend it. Proton Collider will crack his opponent's base, no problem. The Empire player has also 13,000 credits. It's not spending his credits all too well. Also low in power. And the Soviet player does have no credits income. He does not have that refinery anymore. He's not building another refinery, nor is he close to one. So the Vindicators are coming for more bomb runs. Get some good damage on in. At this point in time, Sentry bombers with big carpet bombs can do lots of damage. But definitely more of a newbie player for his side. Empire player is doing a good job expanding out everywhere and get more bombing runs there. Let's go and just stop fast forwarding there because we've got a lot of bombing runs there. Cryo Blast looks like utilized. And a lot of infrastructure did get bombed up. This game just pretty much is over. He's just not really back in the game when he really should. Fast forward. And it looks like the Empire player is now bringing a lot of forces now. But of course, there's a lot of Flak Troopers here. You've got the final squadron being deployed on now, getting some good damage onto one of the battle bunkers. Now, Duke got some King Oni here, as well as Wave Force Artillery. Wave Force Artillery can help crack the space. Good Vindicator bomb runs. He has plenty of bombs, plenty of Vindicators. And he's got a pretty nice bonsai charge here, going to be slicing up all those Flak Troopers there. No more Gulag for them. They're fully dead. Now I've got the cryo again coming on down, and that's going to be game. This sounded great, saying thank you for watching. On the next replay. That replay was not good. Not good whatsoever. Okay, get rid of that one. And, yep, those are not maps I have, so I'll just delete those, as well as this one. go and go to this one here. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Roller 3 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Magenta Soviets with Oblik. Spawn as the Cyan random allies with Berate is back. We've got a barracks being pulled out, some wall segments as well. Boot camp here, got a doggy on the way out. And we've got a bear coming on out as well. Bear and dog are gonna meet each other. Will it be a bear eat dog world or will it be a dog eat bear world? Nothing just yet. They're not engaging each other. Both sides are gonna try to go for the roar or bark. Amplified roar and what's it called? Amplified bark. Try and click on it. Yep. Oh, the engineer's exposed. The engineer is exposed. And there's two bears there. It does get a... Oh! Bad roar there. Good bark there. He's going to go for the one that is not stunned and does take it out. Both bears do go down. The Soviet player, I would say, did a big misplay. He roared the wrong one. When he saw the dog barking, he should have immediately gone for that engineer. But, oh well. Not every day you get a chance to bite the engineer. We got a big wave of conscripts out, as well as a bear. Over here, we got a wave of peacekeepers being employed on out. He does currently have, looks like 5 peacekeepers and 3 doggies. 2 more peacekeepers here as well. Got an airfield now deployed out in the field. As well as a bear being bitten by a sea dog. So that's how you defeat a sea bear attack. And we got the conscript there dancing as the bear, or not the bear, the dog is coming up behind the conscript. And does get the kill there on the conscript before it gets inside the bullfrog. Nice. Looks like the dog does go back out to sea. And a conscript does get thrown to this garrison for reconnaissance purposes. Got the 3 doggies still out in the middle of the map. Cryocopter up north. Vindicator should be out relatively soon. He has, of course, backups MCV, so it's no longer tier 1. Well, now it is tier 1. And he does shrink down the MCV to make it move quicker. Let's pull out the MCV. We've got a handful of dogs everywhere. Now, conscripts are making their advance. Do now have a super reactor being employed on out. Over here, we do have the bear coming out from sea. Will find himself a doggy. And again, 4 for 4 for the dogs. Dogs are advancing forward. Will find themselves some peacekeepers. But will they find some peacekeeper bullets? Oops, I dropped a lot of frames, not upload frames. Sorry about that. If anybody saw that or was what happened. Looks like there's something involving maybe a bit of a bad network connection. I'll keep an eye on that. Over here, Vindicators and Cryocopters flying about. Bomber run coming on in. Nope, he's going to go ahead and try to freeze it down. There is a bullfrog to ward away these forces. Over here, the civilian structure, we've got a single peacekeeper going to be cleaning out that garrison. He could try to use a conscript to retarget towards the peacekeeper. He can always pull the shield and clear it out. You may just go and try to shotgun down the building. Over here, you got the Cryocopters getting some shrinks off on these bullfrogs. MiGs are now in the air, and he will go and hunt down these Cryocopters with his MiGs. So the player has secured air superiority. We've got some Javelin troops now firing some rockets up at the MiGs. We do have another Cryocopter here. And the civilian structure will go down. He's not going to waste a single peacekeeper in order to clear it out, even though he's going to spend more than a peacekeeper's worth of credits to repair up the structure. Good hits there onto the cryocopter. The MiGs may go down. One MiG does go down. The other one will stay alive. Not sure if there's a pressure crane for repairs. Prospector does go down as well. And now we do have, looks like the Twin Blades does get a good kill there on the Javelin Troop. And looks like the Peacekeepers have went ahead and pulled out their shields. He did force fire the ground right there to expend his rest of his walk rockets so he get them reloaded and get a full volley of rockets from them. Air drones not being deployed on out. We do also have a hammer tank out in the field. We do have another ore refinery out at sea. Soviet players now have ore refineries. Javelin Troop will be taking out that garrison. The Peacekeeper almost gets a kill there on the Javelin Troop as well. And these Twin Blades going to come in for another harassment onto the Prospector. Does get some volleys there. Does get a snare there with the Multigun turret. It's going to be pursuing that Prospector. But I think thanks to the load up Javelin Troop there, he's able to get a good firing angle across the entirety in front of him. Let's take out one Twin Blades there. Dog is going to bark and does get the conscript there. Paradrone's making his way from the sea, trying to get a couple noms somewhere. Could go for Infect, but does get killed off. Infect won't do much as well, with plenty of repair nearby. Bullfrogs now coming out from sea. And there's now a pair of Mirages deployed on out. Only have a handful of Peacekeepers and a hammer tank here. That's not enough for defense. But for a Tesla coil, this refinery is going to be exposed. Hammer tank getting some great damage through there. Does take out both those conscripts now. And does not get the extra... Does get the prism cannon gun onto the hammer tank. And the hammer tank does get the kill there. That guardian tank needs to switch over to its primary gun to take out that hammer tank, but it did not. Twin Blade's now advancing forward. He made, with that hammer tank there, it may be worth to go for a Crusher Crane. Let's take out that wounded MiG now. Hammer tank is severely wounded, only efficiency 1. Leeching down the rest of this garrison probably got idea. Leech down something, get that hammer tank healed up. Observation post work as well. Because when you get a prism cannon onto a hammer tank, those things are deadly. There you go. Over here we do got 3 MiGs pushing way forward. We do also have the Soviet construction yard and a battle lab right there. Okay. And it looks like the a fresh Mirage tank does take out the wounded hammer tank. Over here we've got more harassment onto the Prospectors, getting some good hits. And does gun down that Prospector as well. We do have a fully heroic multi-gunner IFV. Up here, more Twin Blades will find themselves a wounded Prospector there. Does take it out as well. Overall, great harassment from the Soviet player. Twin Blades, one does go down. Down south, we do have a pair of MiGs and do have a lot of infrastructure here. Multiple Bullfrogs, now naval yard. Do not have Athena Cannon here. Athena Cannon should not be able to range that battle lab, but should be in range of all of the hammer tanks in front of them. Mirage tanks trying to push way forward. We've got a fresh Terror drone. Does get a kill there on the Terror drone. And now the Twin Blades advancing forward, trying to get some good hits there on the multi-gunner IFV. Athena Cannon's almost down. Does get himself a fresh Prism Cannon there. And the Prism Cannon hammer tank does go down as well. Does not get that Prism Cannon there, and now we've got 2 elite full hammer tanks advancing forward with a wounded one to support them. Pressure crane being deployed out at sea. Honestly, he could place out land. A lot of the air forces are wounded, a lot of the tanks are wounded. All those hammer tanks are going to try to leech down the observation post, and the ally player has surrendered. That's a little bit abrupt. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. I'm sort of striking out with these replays. Greetings everyone, and Grade here. Another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the bottom right side as the Blue Soviets. We have ADJ2ACT. Spawn as the Red Empire. We have Michael Kalady. Or Kalady. We do now have a, of course, engine generator. Dojo cores while making their way up to the ore refineries. Could be trying to go aggressive and get that one as well. So the player not going anything too aggressive at the moment. The Social Core will be advancing. We do now have more refined. Wait. Okay, there's 2 refineries there. I don't know why I thought there was a 3rd one. We do have now the Dojo Core being sold on off. This one is still making its way up north. Yeah, that's the only Dojo Core as well, so he's definitely going to make his way up north right here. Over here, Burst drones advancing forward. We'll be able to spot out a fast naval yard before his 2nd refinery. Maybe eyeing for some Stingray harassment or assault. That's another naval yard. What is going on? The burst drone also spots this as well. Takes the burst drone there with a bullfrog. Let's see how much. What did the Empire player sees? He sees all of that, including the power plant and MCV, but that's nothing. There's some generator cores. Okay. He knows about those 2 naval yards. Maybe a good idea to go straight for tsunami tanks, or going for Striker VXs, or for honestly could go out for a naval expansion, get out some yard mini subs. But now here comes the Stingrays advancing. 3 Stingrays being deployed on out. MCV has been sold on off. That makes a bit more sense. But go on. We have an all-in being deployed out by the Soviet player with a small amount of credits. He didn't take time to get out another core refinery. The Empire player does roll out a defender core there. Very nice. Seeing those naval yards, he must have a good idea as to what's going for an all-in. If not, he may be concerned about cool subs. So that's a good thing that he packed up his construction yard and put it out onto land. But right now he's going to be facing a whole bunch of Stingrays. Only 1 defender course. Defender course is not exactly anti-vehicle. So he will need to get out some either tank, no, not tank busters versus Stingrays. Tsunami tanks, exactly what he needs. MCV is being packed on up. He can crush some Stingrays if they beach. Let's go ahead and get some bursts off there on the Stingrays. And that is a good number of Stingrays. I think that's 8 there. And the Stingrays are going to make their way on the land. Defender Corps getting some good damage there. 1 of the Stingrays to go down. Of course, got the 2 Tsunami tanks. Tsunami tanks being focused down. Does use Nano Deflect on the other one. He was trying to do it on the other one, but it failed. The other ones use Nano Deflectors immediately. This is not a good strategy there. Hopefully, it's a Chopper VX coming on out, or Striker VX. That's another Tsunami tank. Let's find some shots there. Trying to go for the Mecha Bay. The Empire has claimed both oil derricks. There's very good income there. The MCV is making its way up north. And he still has these 2 refineries there, so the Empire player still has very good income. The longer he stalls out, the better. And now and Bullfrog launches out a engineer, but his only Jet Tango shoots him out of the air. First drone does spot a lot of this stuff. 1 of the naval yards do get sold off. And the Empire MCV is going to be packing up and try to run away. Maybe a good idea to just get a reserve of tank busters here. He also is lacking power plants, so he should not be able to play out all too much at the moment. He needs a power plant. He needs something. He can run around with his MCV and buy some time. Now the Stingray is making its way down south. This one could be crushed. And see if he's going for crush now. Stingray does avoid. There's just too many Stingrays on the field. He needs a tier 3. Tsunami Tank and Mega Tank are actually now sieging down the ore refinery. That may be all he needs. The ore collector does go down. If the MCV just runs away forever, he will actually win. Additionally, he has plenty of income. He could perhaps blow out some extra ore collectors for fighting pit capabilities. In fact, let's see. He has 6,000 credits. He's low in power, so these building these cores will take a long time. Let's pull out the generator core there. The generator core is not moving properly. May receive some volleys. No, the MCV is receiving hits. That generator core is very important. Once he gets that generator core deployed out, okay, he's using that to distract his opponent. I was going to say, if he deploys out the power core, then he's able to deploy out a Mecha Bay core, as well as deploy them at a good rate. Ore refinery has been cleaned on up, and now we do got the burst drone, Tsunami Tank, and Mecha Tengu making their way down to the power plant. I still believe, like, at this point in time, getting a large reserve of ore collectors would not be absurd. Because right now, he only needs to stall out for is any sort of army. MCV is still receiving fire from one of these Stingrays. And the Naval Yard is receiving quite a bit of fire. He needs to cancel whatever he's building and go for repairs. Does go down. He has not canceled wherever he is in his naval yard. Tsunami Tank is elite and does avoid the electrostatic discharge. And I think he did a mass electrostatic discharge there. You can see the effect still over there. Now there's a fully heroic Tsunami Tank there. We got a fully heroic Jet Mecha Tengu. And Tsunami Tank could use Nano Deflector to escape on out of there. Needs to use does use Nano Deflector there. Does go down. Ore collectors. Now he's starting to realize, oh, I can go mass ore collector. He does have a lot of income to spend, and he has low power since he never built that power generator again. And Burst Drone does go and sit on top of those Stingrays. He can perhaps sit on top of the... Oh, he misfired with the force attack command and got his Stingray instead. I was going to say he could perhaps use the Burst Drone to sit on top of the Stingray and detonate it. We do also have a single Bullfrog out in the field, so he does have capability to shoot at this heroic Jet Tengu. Looks like his primary ore collector did get interrupted there. Sells off one of them. He needs to get that ore, continue collecting, though he has plenty of ore for the time being. He needs a lot more than that. He also has a fully heroic Stingray he has to deal with, as well as 2 elite. He could, looks like he's going to go straight for this reactor. He still has the heroic Jet Tengu. Heroic Jet Tengu, it has, there it goes. I was going to say he could use his heroic-ness to scout out. He has their automatic repairs. He will spot the elite Stingray as well as the Bullfrog. Bullfrog does transform, going to throw some rounds on the Bullfrog now. And doesn't get the Bullfrog there, but now he no longer has an Air Force. Tsunami Tanks, or not Tsunami Tanks, ore collectors on the high ground. We got these pair of ore collectors advancing forward. The Bullfrog is useless at this point in time. And so we got a good reserve of ore collectors now. I do not know the number of ore collectors versus Stingray. Of who, how many wins what. These ore collectors are advancing forward. This reactor is still exposed. And he pulled off his ore collectors off the line. He has plenty of credits. He does not need to... He was collecting more credits than he was able to spend them, so that's fine. The Soviet player does have a handful of credits to repair up with. He also has the 2 oil derricks. Okay, he is spending his ore credits faster than he's receiving them, but it's still a lot of credits there. Doesn't think I want the Stingrays there. Needs a focus fire there. He also has honorable discharge. Most of those half the Stingrays are down. Now he's trying to hit these ore refineries. Down here, we do have the ore collectors engaging reactor. He's starting to repair tool now. Takes out that Imperial Warrior. It's getting pretty close. I'll keep this reactor selected. I think the refinery's gonna go down first. And that's the end of the replay. That was far closer than it should have. If the Empire player would have got out that power plant, that instant generator, that game could have gone much more differently since it would be able to mass produce the ore collectors better. By the way, this is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Strange replay. Greetings everyone, Andgrade here for another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Scion allies, we have Strider. Spawn on the right side as the Orange Empire, we have Lewis Lion. Oh, and I'm dropping network again. There's nothing much I can do to stop that. I think my network's just crappy today. My apologies. Got, of course, the Dojo Core advancing forward. We've got a pair of refinery cores. Dojo Core right there. And we've got the Dogi advancing forward. The Dogi may get ran over. The dog does get ran over there. And it looks like my network has stabilized again. Does destroy the garrison there with a laser lock javelin. Imperial warriors sort of dancing around trying to avoid these peacekeepers. We have 4 peacekeepers versus 4 Imperial warriors, 5th Imperial warrior, 6th Imperial warrior, and 2 Dojo cores advancing forward. So looks like the Empire players are going to be pushing heavily on the middle. Got the oil derrick claimed by both sides, and more Imperial warriors now advancing. Down here, we do have another air base being deployed on out. And now we do have these Dojo cores advancing forward. He has spread out these peacekeepers quite a bit, but also may allow them to be vulnerable to these Imperial warriors. Does do balance I charge of 2 of them. Does get a number of crushes there as well. Slices up one of the peacekeepers. Then pull up the shields, made them very vulnerable to those Dojo cores. Good hits there. I actually wish he had that garrison to make usage of. And he will go and crush the rest of these guys now. Working on that one. Vindicator bomb run does hit that Dojo core there. More Vindicators pushing way forward. And decides to set himself up on top of the refinery location, but does get destroyed off right there. Multi-Gunner has been pulling out, does load up the Peacekeeper as well, and this Multi-Gunner turret should be able to rip apart those Imperial warriors, no problem. Good number of them do go down. More bomber runs there onto the instant dojo. He's trying to repair it up, trying to go for an engineer. Did the engineer get killed off, or did he actually not get fully deployed off? I didn't think the engineer actually, I think he got interrupted before the engineer could come out. I think it was in the deployment stage of him opening up the door. Great crushes there by the allied MCV. Notice these peacekeepers now receiving some fire there. Imperial warriors do go down. I saw something getting shot down here as well. And construction yard has deployed onto the high ground now, and it's starting to put out some walls as well. Peacekeepers are making an advance. There's no real defenses on the field. You got Para, Vindicators advancing forward with an Apollo support. May see a bombing run onto the Prospector, or the Ore Collector, and we'll find nothing from naval expansion. Ore walls going down, trying to protect his oil derrick. Peacekeepers making their way forward. He needs to get another line of walls for this ore refinery. Not that way, though. And, oh, he blows off that, garrison there. Tsunami Tank does nano deflect forward, gain some good crushes there. Misses those two Peacekeepers, and now we do have some Chopper VXs stomping the way forward. Try and go for another crush move. Another Tsunami Tank does get one of the Peacekeepers there, two Peacekeepers, one remaining there. This one does get crushed as well. And all of them do get crushed now. We do got now another more Imperial Warriors advancing forward, as well as a fresh Dojo Corps. Good kills there, very nice. Up north we do have a bombing run onto the Ore Collector. Chopper VX is going to now try to dissuade them. And more instant generate as well. Two Vindicators, two Crowdcopters, two Apollos being pushed their way forward. Got three Chopper VXs. They do find some of the Imperial Warriors or Crowdcopters there. Bombs one, the other one gets transformed and gets gunned down the air. Vindicators do not go down. Chopper VX. Oh, MCV has been sold off. We got the Engineer right there. Another Chopper VX, or Striker VX getting shrunken and now being froze. Both the Striker VX have been frozen down. We got Big Assault here. We got a Motogun turret there. Receiving quite a bit of fire. Has been upgunned with a Peacekeeper there. Claims the observation post of his Engineer. Tank pressures advance forward. One of the some tanks does get killed off, frozen, and the other one's stroken. This one is now starting being frozen as well. Multiple bombers now onto this Imperial War, these tank busters there. Another barracks have been pulled out. He may just want to sell it off for a Peacekeeper. He does get inside of that multi-gun turret in time. And he does clean up all those infantry units. Now just the multi-gun turret remains. It will go and get gunned down by this non-tank. Chopper VX is advancing forward with two Striker VXs on the ground. Good crush there. Another crush there. Bonsai charge does get a kill.
Get out, get out.
And does go and bomb himself another Striker VX. Chopper VX now receives some fire there. The Striker VX on the ground trying to find some fire. Does get the Apollos there. And one Striker VX does get frozen down. One of the Cryocops goes down as well. And now the shrunken Chopper VX is now getting some good damage on these various forces. Does get this destruction there with his honorable discharge. Now just one Tsunami Tank's remaining frozen. Another Tsunami Tank's advancing forward. Big bomb run there. Does use nano deflection to keep one of his guys alive. Does destroy the Cryocopter now. And looks like the Apollo will take out the Jet Tengu. May see another bonsai charge there by the Imperial Warrior as the allied MCVs receive quite a bit of fire. Fresh Motogun turret there, does take out the Cryocopter or Tsunami Tank. In a low power state will be incurred since he is packed up his MCV. Fresh Engineer been pulled on out, gets an instant repair onto the construction yard. The Apollo's now getting forced on back. Apollo's didn't put too much damage there. One of the Jet Tankers do go down, one of the Apollos do go down. It does go ahead and interrupt the Apollo there and does fall back with it. And I'm losing more and more network connection once again. My apologies. Jet tankers are flying about. We do have another dog out at sea. It seems like lately I've been having issues with casting Gorilla 3 replays. We do have now the Apollos getting forced on back. That Apollo now receives some fire and does fall back as well. Both of them do get saved. So I suppose I can still go ahead and cast online, and you guys can just watch the local recordings later on once I release them on my YouTube channel. Of course, also on Rumble automatically. Mass Transformer right there does save his remaining mecha tankers right there. Fire some rounds onto that wall segment, and now I'm going to be hitting that construction. Oh, try to go for crush there. Going for the ore refinery now. Does get a nice kill there. Prospector does go down. The mecha tango here may get some more honorable discharge damage. This one is still on top of the refinery as well. The refinery may go down to that honorable discharge. Mecha tango will go and escape on out. Now I do still have the two jet tangos. They actually do transform. One of them slowly goes on up. I probably would have stuck around because that would have destroyed the ore refinery. Now Paul's in hot pursuit. And the transform is on cooldown. Let's get the transform there with one remaining one. I do got a large number of Apollos for the allied player. We don't see additional construction yards. We've got a large number of chopper VXs out in the air. And goodness here on those cryocopters. Striker VX is now engaging, gets some good damage there on the Apollos. Multiple of the Striker VXs go down, multiple Apollos do go down, so it looks like 3 Apollos, large number of Striker VXs. And the observation post has been claimed by the allied player. It was claimed by the Empire. Javelin soldier advancing forward. And now we do have the Apollos now pushing the way forward. We'll find all these jet tangos. Striker VXs do transform. Get some good hits there onto those Apollos. You have some Javelin troops now on the ground. That's going to transfer the heroic jet tango, getting some good damage there. Some of the air forces do still receive some fire. Most of these forces are going to make their way down south. Trying to find a good engagement. The Apollos now engaged as well. Striker VXs do transform. 1, 2 Apollos do go down. Third and fourth one will escape on out. Jet tangos pushing the way forward. The Apollos are going to land on the deck, and they may get camped on the deck as well. We do have these Javelin troops advancing forward, trying to get some good damage in. And it looks like they're just mostly just moving forward. Does pick off some number of these Javelin troops there. Jet tangos and do get some good kills, but do drop down as well. A number of these jet tangos are getting cleaned on up, and these two are going to be backing off to the sea, being pursued by the cryocopters. Does get one of the chopper VXs transform, getting some good damage there. Over here, the Vindicators and Apollos advancing forward. We've got 4 Apollos in this region, 3 cryocopters. Cryo Blast has been cast. That should be able to freeze on the stuff. No problem. Jet tankers are charging on it. Does get one of the Apollos now. Going for the Vindicator. Nope, not going for the Vindicator just yet. Circling back on in. Let's get a good kill on another Apollo as well. And may go start pushing forward now with his Jet Tengus and his Chopper VXs. Another multi-gun turret's been pulled now. Going to be focusing it down first. And some of these Apollos are going to focus down these Jet Tengus. One Apollo does go down. Both the multi-gun turrets do go down. Now the MCV's under siege. Let's take this airfield now. None of the crowdcopters to go down. Got some Javelin troops coming, firing at some rounds. You could actually focus down those Javelin troops there. One of the heroic Jet Tengus remaining. But so far, good damage there onto the MCV. Does crush a couple units there. Yeah, Apollo's just constantly firing away. He does manage to save one of his proper VX there. The tiny Jet Tengu does go down, and he does save the MCV with like a sliver of health remaining. You could keep it next to the airfield for repairs, or pull out barracks to get out a quick repair. Jet Tengu's advancing forward once again, maybe trying to overwhelm this MCV. It is oh so close to death. That's going to go ahead and hit that MCV, gain some great damage there, and the MCV does go down. Heroic Peacekeeper gains good damage onto these forces. Bond run comes on in, take out a couple more Jet Mech Tengus. I just realized something. The Allied player does not have a war factory nor naval yard. So, nor even a boot camp. So he only has access to these air forces. Deploys out a prospector here to get heightened security clearance for that airfield. Chopper Jax advancing forward. Got an Ore Collector now advancing forward as well. I'm not sure why there's an Ore Collector on the front line, but currently it's chilled. It does get a kill there. Ore Collector. He has a Ore Factory there. It has 2 refineries as well. That may have been the one that was recently destroyed. 2 Heroic Vindicators push way forward. Not good transform dodge there. Another Crowdcopter does go down. There's still a good number of Apollos out on the field. One of the Striker VXs to go down. It looks like the Apollos will fall back. Get some repairs, so only 3 Apollos remaining. And Vindicators now seem to fire, but the heroic status remains to contain a lot more peace there. Because right now, the Empire player should just focus on Mecha Tengus the entire time. Does have a strong Striker VX as well, gains good damage on the air forces. Or you could just go for Striker VXs. Of course, they will have a bit of trouble engaging the ground targets, but camping the airfield never is bad. Hunting clearance on the way. Striker VX is advancing forward, may get some good damage on in. Good damage there onto the Apollo, does take it down. Heroic Vindicator does both of them get shot down there. Got a good number of Apollos in the air, but nothing really stopped all the Striker VXs. One Apollo does get shot down on the deck as well. Does shrink down one of the Striker VXs. Got the twin Jet Tengus transforming. Sells off the airfield, and I think he's backing out of the game now. And that is the end of the replay. This is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. My network connection is still so bad. Greetings everyone, Andgrade here from another Age of Empires, not Age of Empires, Red 3 replay. Spawn on the right side as the red allies, we have spawn on the left side as the orange empire. We have Dutch army, 1, 2, 3. Of course, we do have some more dojo cores. We do have a instant generator. Over here, we've got Dogi advancing forward, maybe trying to bite the Dojo Core. And Dojo Core gets placed out right there of all places? That's a little bit interesting. Dogi's going to be sitting in front of that Dojo Core, waiting for our fun Chew Toy to come out. But now the Dojo Core is advancing forward, trying to crush the Dogi. And we've got some Pure Warriors advancing forward as well. I don't see Engineer just yet. More Imperial Warriors. Looks like that Dojo Core does. Nope, it's still right there. We've got a Javelin Troop pushing way forward. Laser locking down the civilian structure. And civilian structure will go ahead and go on down. Civilian structure is now destroyed. We do have these Peacekeepers that are advancing forward. Javelin Troop on the back line. And wait, that Engineer is going for this one here. This Engineer has their Oil Derrick has been claimed, and now it's trying to capture it up. He will not be able to stop it. He is going to capture up the Oil Derrick. We do have a number of Peacekeepers in this region. We had Doggy down here as well. And it looks like the Riptide here has been fully loaded up with some Peacekeepers. I don't think there's any Javelin Troops on the inside. They have a large number of Imperial Warriors here, as well as a Dojo Core. And the Javelin Troop will go and destroy the Oil Derrick. We have a power plant there. We got a Javelin Troop here. I think I heard a burst drone flying about. And now we got the Doggy being gunned down by a mecha robot. Out at sea. Mecha Tengus do go ahead and claim themselves another dog. And did that burst drone just land on top of a wall segment there? Okay, don't know how fit the burst drones are versus wall segments, but apparently that's the thing. And I think it may have destroyed a whole wall segment. So that's sort of interesting. Jet Tank is pushing way forward, get some good hits there onto that Apollo. Apollo's now receiving quite a bit of fire there. Good bomb run onto the Dojo Core. And the 50 cal should be able to take it out. He looks like he's just going to deploy it out and destroys that Dojo Core. Mass transform there. Now he sees where all the Peacekeepers are at. MCV is now advancing to the high ground. Imperial Warriors are advancing forward. Maybe try and eye. Nope, the garrison is destroyed, and he should know that garrison is destroyed. Your Warrior is going to be backing on off. Jet Tengu, or not Jet Tengus, Apollos are out in the field. We're gonna negate any sort of Jet Tengus. We've got a good swarm of Jet Tengus. It looks like Orange now going for some wall segments here. Trying to stall out his opponent. We do have the Jet Tengus flying up or around. We do have a naval expansion here. We've got a pair of Riptides for defense. Mass transform onto that Riptide quickly takes it out. Going for the Prospector and the Riptide as well. Apollo's coming to respawn. He does deploy out the command hub in order to sell it off and sell it for some credits. Command hub's now being focused down. Apollo's now push away forward. He should be able to get that command hub, no problem. He's just trying to deploy it and sell it off likely. The Prospector is not even been queued on the ore refinery at this moment in time. The ore refinery will be under fire. Might as well just finish it off. Another Vindicator coming on board. Does do a split order there to spread out any sort of splash damage. He does finish off one of those Jet Tank or Mecha Tengus. Does take out the ore refinery there. Couldn't hit that power plant as well. More Paul's pushing way forward once again. Handful of Peacekeepers here. A handful of Pure Warriors there with a large wave of walls. Power plant does go down there. for a bomb run there. Two of the... he does actually transform to dodge that bomb, but immediately gets gunned down there. More walls been blown out, this time walling in these peacekeepers. Does activate his shield ability there, because might as well. We now have a Doc's core being employed on out, as well as a mass point defense drone there. There's also a handful of Striker VXs on the ground. Six Apollos on the field. So right now, he probably can't really transform his units into the air now with so many Apollos in the sky. Though getting these Striker VXs help out as well, such as hitting that Vindicator as it flies a little bit too close. Guns down a Dolphin a little bit, and now we do have the Imperial Docs being pulled on out. Also a transform there. He's trying to draw these Apollos into the Striker VXs. Warframe being pulled out. May want to be a bit more reserved there. He knows about the Dolphins. He knows about everything in that region. He has to take out those Dolphins as soon as possible. Apollos do get some bullets there, and now one of the Dolphins do go down. The other Dolphin's being gunned down as well. Alright, Mini-Sub has pulled out, and now it's clear for the ore refinery. Now, Assault Destroyers being pushed on the field. And some of these missiles could actually hit the Assault Destroyer as they try to hit the Air Forces. Continues advancing forward, gets good hits there onto the onto these Apollos. It does get some crush honorable discharges on the Assault Destroyer. Assault Destroyer is advancing forward, and I'm looking at my internet going crap again. It looks like it's getting a little bit worse. Notice the Assault Destroyer does get cleaned up there. I think may have crushed one too many Mecha Tengus. The other Assault Destroyer has made its way on land. Immediately activates Black Hole Armor. You could try Force Fire on the ground there to get some rounds into the Assault Destroyer beyond max range. We got now Cryoblast being pulled on out. The Ore Collector now being pursued. We've got Tsunami Tanks here getting some great damage there onto the Assault Destroyer. Does take out the Assault Destroyer there before it fires with a single shot. Mini-Sub receiving some fire there from these Riptides. Let's get a final voyage there, get a good kill. So now it takes a push way forward. Good bomb runs there onto the Tsunami Tanks. You got the Riptide being cleaned up. We got another fresh Assault Destroyer there, but with Black Hole Armor activated, he doesn't have to worry about being crushed since he's out at sea. So now it takes a push way forward. We got the Cryocopter advancing forward. Looks like the Jet Tank is pushing way forward. Gets good damage there on the Apollos. The Apollos who get a number of kills there. Striker VX engaged from the ground. Gets good damage there. And now the Apollos will fall back. I don't think a single Apollo went down. Now we do have an aircraft carrier here. We do have the EMP missile firing. Getting good hits. And so Jet Tank will go on down there. Assault Destroyer will be cleaning it up. The aircraft carrier has received a bit of fire there, trying to freeze some of these Tsunami Tanks. We got some more bombing runs there onto the Ore Refinery. Does take out the Tsunami Tank there. I do have a Yard Mesa advancing forward. May see a final voyage onto that aircraft carrier. Nope, he's going straight for the naval yard. Does take it out. Tsunami Tanks advancing forward, get some good damage across these units. When the Cryocopters do in fact go down. And here comes more final voyages there. We'll take out the aircraft carrier with some more final voyages as the Assault Destroyer is also severely wounded. There's more Yari mini subs being pulled on out, and some of these jet tankers are getting picked on off. Jet tankers flying about. Doesn't need to use Final Voyage on that, just throw some torpedoes and it's down. Striker VX being focused down, frozen. Trying to freeze down the ore refinery as well. With there's 3 crowdcopters, there's going to be a lot of freezing capability. It is currently chilled, just freeze down the Striker VX once again. The other Striker VX is up and going. Some tanks are pushing away back from sea. We've got the crowdcopters in pursuit as well. Jet tankers will find engagement there, and so do the Apollos. We've got a max clearance for the allied player. We may see some Mirage tanks and Athena cannons. Starting to go for something right now. The Speedscape are still alive, and the Apollo's now advancing forward, getting a nice little recon run there. Do got Cryo Blast employed out. This time that can be saved, at least the ore collector. Doesn't get the kill there onto that ore refinery, bombed a little bit too soon, and does not get the kill down the ore refinery whatsoever. Big misplay there by the allied player. Good kill there on one of the Apollos. And we do have another ore collector ore refinery being pulled out, going for this refining location. Up I hear Athena cannon now being pulled on out, firing some, bringing some orbital strikes onto that garrison. Damaged a little bit of the Imperial Warrior. Now the MCVs are seeing quite a bit of fire there. More wall segments will not stop an Athena cannon. MCV has packed on up. We've got a big swell of jet tankers as well as Striker VXs. There's a large number of Apollos in this region. One of the Apollos do go down. And now the Striker VX is advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there onto the wall segments. Does go with mass transform there, trying to go for air superiority, get some good kills there. But also, Motorgunner IVs going up, but looks like the Mecha Tengus do go ahead and get some good kills there. Striker VX getting some good anti-aircraft damage on those crowdcopters as well. Get another one down, but do have a single Mirage tank here, able to do some great damage. Athena cannon getting some good damage as well, taking off some of these point defense drones on these Striker VXs. One of the Chopper VXs do go down. You have all the Imperial Warriors withdrawn from this region. Peacekeepers are still there. Need some much needed repairs in this region. We got the Multigunner IVs, one of them fully heroic, one veteran, and one wounded. Supporting the Mirage tank in advance. Mirage tank and Multigunner IVs can start taking down some of these wall segments, freeing the infantry. Cryogeddon has now been deployed on now, freezing down everything in that region, barring the MCV. I don't think anything's in the region to try to kill it off. We got some pulse push way forward. And some of this stuff is starting to be thawed on out. We got another naval dockyard. And this area is going to be hit now by the cryocopter. Just trying to ward him away long enough to get the Striker VXs engaged. We got mass point defense drones once again. Now the Athena cannons pushing way forward, finding opening to move forward, getting some good damage there onto that oil refinery. And the oil derrick does go down. Looks like everything's now thawed out, still chilled though. Now Tsunami takes advance forward. One of them will get frozen there. As the other one starts firing away against the expansion, the heroic one is still untouched. trying to use honorable discharge there to help clean up more damage onto the refinery. Continues the base forward. One of the Apollos do go down, doing a massive move order there. It's great damage there. We've got a large number of Mordecai IFVs, some of fully heroic status. One of them do go down there now. Got the Mirage Tank and Athena Cannon. Pushing way forward. Mirage Tank is just being a general A move. Good kills there on some of those Apollos there. Striker VXs getting some good damage in. And now it looks like the Mirage Tank's being focused down by these Mecha Tengus. Honorable discharge there to get a significant amount of damage there. Trying to go for more Apollos there. And these forces will go and back on off. Let's get some good hits there with the Athena cannons. Let's shoot down the Athena cannon to save it. It's a fully heroic Athena cannon. And now getting some much needed repairs. Mecha Tengu's getting some great damage there onto this ore refinery. Probably will be able to get it out. And one of the Apollos do go down there. Mirage Tank in pursuit of these Chopper Striker VXs. Let's transform our the low health one. And now we'll likely be gunned down there by the Apollos. Ore refinery does go down now. The allied player's down to 2 ore refineries. The Empire player has all 4 still going. Or actually, yep, that one's going. Shogun battleship has now been pulled on out. We need some Sea Wings to help escort it. Second Shogun battleship. Trying to freeze down this ore refinery now. And some of these Apollos now getting focused down by these Jet Tengus. And looks like I think the allied player has surrendered. The game sort of ended a bit abruptly. By the way, this is Android saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. Oh, I thought I clicked on... Greetings everyone, and Great here from another Run 3 replay. Small on the north side as the Green Soviets, we have Green Alert, so he's actually got the right color for it. On the south side as the Red Allies, we have C. Dwevin. Is that a Crusher Crane? Oh no, Reactor. I was a little bit confused at first. First I thought it was a Crusher Crane, but do have some doggies pushing way forward in the center of the map. Bear also advancing as well. Another bear being caught out. Does get a nice little bark there. And the bear does go down. And now the bear will eat the dog. There's a dog eat bear world and a bear eat dog world. You have the allied engineer advancing towards this oil derrick to throw himself into it. And also this bear does go down to the dog. Large number of Peacekeepers been put out. A very large number of Peacekeepers out. We do have 2 barracks production work from Peacekeepers. Gascon's first ore refinery there. How many credits does he have left?
Conscript training finished.
Okay, he does have enough for a...
Conscript training finished.
A reactor. Not reactor, ore refinery. And there's actually no capture there of that oil derrick just yet. And he's pushing forward with a lot of bears and conscripts in the center of the map. Luckily, he does have access to Molotovs to clear out these garrisons. And these forces are making their way forward as well. Move a little bit too close. Does get some shotgun bursts there. And now the bears are advancing forward, trying to... Does get a mass roar up there, so all these peacekeepers will go down to the bears. Some of the peacekeeper conscripts do go down. Bomb run coming out in front of Vindicator. There is some potential splash in there and failed with the bomb splits. Let's clean out the garrison there, so a single conscript will get inside, perhaps this wounded one. Yes, the wounded one. Molotovs are now running on in onto the airfield. And some great damage there with those Vindicator bomb runs. Good bomb splits there. And does get a double kill there and throws 2 bombs on top of that one, so 3 for 3. We have a good number of bears here. Airfield still seems some fire. We do have a number of peacekeepers getting on through all these garrison sounds on the right side of the map. And the airfield was saved. And now the bears are receiving some bombing runs. Garrison has been cleaned on out. And down south, we've got the bears pushing their way out to sea and going to receive some bombing runs. We do now have the MCV, allied MCVs advancing forward. It does have these garrisons claimed. At least keeping them claimed will perhaps get them destroyed. MCV has now gotten to the map. The conscript could fire some more AK-47 rounds into it, doing a whole bunch of nothing damage. We got a large number of bullfrogs now in the field, as well as the war factory. And cash bounty on top of the oil derrick that gave me a nice little 500 credit rebate. You now have an ore refinery deployed on out in the center of the map as well. You also have a multi-gun turret now sieging down this reactor. You may see a super reactor in the build queue. Yes, super reactors on the build queue. Arm round coming on in. And throws a whole bunch of bombs onto that ore refinery. Bullfrog trying to pursue these Vindicaires. The bombs are all expended, so the Bullfrog can fire with impunity. Doesn't get any kills there, however. Got a big line of bullfrogs advancing forward. We got a multi-gun turret there, picking off a terror drone, and all of a sudden a bunch of bullfrogs appear. Gets a lot of free damage there. Does take out one of the bullfrogs and severely wounds another one. Garrison will start to be slowly cleared on out. We got a nice Vindicator bombing run advancing forward, trying to get another bombing run onto this refinery. And some good damage there. Conscript still has a vision of this entire region. You have hiding security clearance. You have some Guardian tanks now being pulled out as well. Oops, I hit my microphone, my apologies. Now the Guardian tank will start cleaning up this garrison. Slowly, but surely. Indicators coming in for another bombing run somewhere. Not sure where though. We have a large number of bullfrogs in the region, so this is probably the wrong spot to do a bombing run. Does receive some fire there, and this ore refinery has been fully repaired. Maybe I'll take out. Oh, we got some. I think there's some flak ships in that garrison. Maybe not. No, it was an engineer. Interesting. Does look like the engineer inside of that bullfrog. Of course, did spot it, but whether or not he's paying attention, that's something I cannot say. Now, I do have, looks like these hammer tanks advancing forward. They are, of course, had their leech beams activated. Hammer tanks advancing forward. Does find a little snare there on the Guardian tanks. And do got a crowd blast being deployed out right there. Or crowd shot. Does get the terror drone at least. Guardian tanks are. Terror drone does thaw out and does get that one outside the repair radius of the war factory. Big bomb run there from the Vindicators. Was not paying attention, but looks like two of the bullfrogs do go down. One of the Guardian tanks do go down. Now we do have a fresh Mirage tank. Over here, we do have a Sickle engaging the Prospector for some good harassment there. Another Guardian tank or multi-gun turret now under siege will be quickly siphoned down. Now we do have a fresh Athena cannon there. Mirage tank is that disguises that tree. Just in tree there. Now I got another Vindicator bomber run there. I heard something being pulled on out. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, here we do have the Prospector. Now receiving some fire from these wind blades. Prospector does in fact go down. Now the power generator will be hit as well. Trying to leech down this mortar gunner turret. Was going to get one in angle there. Might as well get the other ones out of that region because they're very, very vulnerable of being bombed there and splash damage. Of course, we got the max clearance. He has gotten, of course, one Mirage tank at the moment. Not sure what's being put out as well. Guardian tanks or Vindicators finding a bomb run there onto the airfield. Does take it out entirely. We may see some attacks on the retreat with the Bullfrog, so it's unsuccessful. Another crowd shot being put out does avoid it. Some of these hammer tanks are quite wounded now. Not sure from what. More multi-gunner turrets trying to get siphoned down. And Twin Blades do get a nice little pick there onto that Mirage tank there. There's actually another shield there. Let's get killed there on the multi-gunner IFV. Good kill there on the Guardian tank. We do got a Prism cannon loaded on up on one of these hammer tanks as well. And maybe Athena cannon as well. He's still needing a lot of powerful weapons. There's a lot of multi-wielding hammer tanks there. One, the Vindicators do go down. Prism cannon is still up. The Athena cannon is still up. And there's at least some dual-wielding hammer tanks now as well. He needs to turn off the leech beam and go straight for these structures. He has enough damage here to really put some pain. Does take out, I think that was an unupgraded hammer tank there. The Prism cannon is still up and going. The Athena cannon may have went down, but it still has a number of dual-wielding hammer tanks as well. Prism cannon is not firing at the moment. Does take out the MCV. More bomb runs raining on in. Some of these Vindicators getting quite heroic. But one of the Vindicators did go down right there. Only gunner IFV now receiving quite a bit of fire. Bullfrogs pushing forward. Do got the airbase now being camped by these Bullfrogs. Both of them now fully heroic. Airfield does go down there. Does got the core refinery. Airfield goes down as well. And he lost his I think his mass selling off. I think he's backing off the game now. Or maybe not. I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment. He has nothing on the field. Yep, now he's selling off the rest of the infrastructure. I think. There you go. There we go, he's finally back to the game now. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see, got a lot of 1v1s. We see any 2v2s? Is Fire Island a 2v2? Battle Base Beta is a 2v2. Or maybe not. Oh well. Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Red Allies, we have Cryo Love. Spawn on the top right side as the Scion Soviets, we have Neo. Got a power plant down in the corner. We do have, of course, a reactor, or no, pair of barracks there. Now going for his reactor now. So the Soviet player may be eyeing for a whole bunch of conscripts, or at least a combat engineer and a whole bunch of conscripts, because he still needs to capture the Oil Derrick. Fast airfield for the Allied player. Fast airfield is something more common on Affinity Isle. And the bear will spot the fast airfield. Do have also some wall segments going on now, so he's going to try to protect his airfield with some wall segments. Conscripts, however, can destroy wall segments there with Molotovs. And does throw some bombs there. Good bomb switch there to gain 3 conscripts. More Vindicators push away forward as well. Another bomb run there. Good bomb runs. Takes out another 3 conscripts. And the airfield gets fully walled off there. Very nice. More Vindicators coming on forward. And that's basically the rest of the conscripts now. He's still pushing forward. We'll follow, see the wall segments. And Vindicators pushing way forward, trying to bomb something. Looks like one of them did receive some fire there, so there may be some flak troopers around. I think don't see any bullfrogs yet. Soviet players immediately going for a 3rd expansion now. As again, a number of troops inside all these garrisons as well. Let's get some good damage there. More bomb runs raining on in. Does take out the reactor. So we'll need to rebuild the reactor, which he's doing now. Vindicators, of course, falling back. This one is sort of dancing around. He does get a bomb run onto the ore collector, but the ore collector is something you really should be bombing right now. It takes 5 Vindicator bomb runs to take out an ore collector. You got a naval expansion now for the allied player, or the Soviet player has gotten his high ground expansion. Big bomb run there, and he does, of course, get his reactive armor up, which means that it's going to take a lot of bomb runs to take out that ore collector. He should probably take a bit better time to actually bomb the refinery itself at the current rate. You could try getting some flak troopers inside the civilian garrisons to wood away against these aircraft flying about. There's a garrison here as well. Some good splash damage there, and throws a combat engineer into the ore refinery. You don't see that all too often, but that is a good investment. Though the ore collector is still quite wounded, there's nothing much you can do to stop that other than deploying out a crusher crane in this region. Flak troopers now get inside the garrison. And now we do have some more Vindicator bomb runs pushing way forward. I'm not sure what they're going to eye. We'll find a couple of flak troops inside the garrison, gain some good damage there. Looks like he does go ahead and bomb the ore collector, or the ore refinery. Gains some good damage. Ore collector's almost down. Javelin laser lock advancing forward, trying to clear off some of these garrisons. Garrison has been cleaned on out. Looks like he force fired the garrison. Vindicators pushing the way forward. I'm gonna follow them a little better with the painting tool, and I'm doing a pretty bad job of that. And the ore collector, did he not all? I'm not sure why he's trying to bomb smoke that, but he does take out the ore collector there, and he may see some more flak, literal flak on the retreat, and does not lose any of those Vindicators. Bullfrogs, however, may get some of them on the retreat. And somehow not. He managed to get all the higher health units there. Good bark there to stun down that bear as he was getting a lot of gnomes off. Bullfrogs, however, are not exactly good items to block infantry with. Peacekeepers could try, gets good roar there, but the other dogs are here to support. Black troopers do get forced out of the garrison, needs to get inside the bullfrogs, and eject them onto the high ground. But for a poor control right there. Royal Derrick Howard's almost gone down to these conscripts. There's at least 3 or 4 in the garrison. Notice that the bear did get a good roar there. More roars, more bears. Trying to use the laser lock there. Does not stop both javelin troops, only one of them. To get out of the garrison to help deal with these forces. Dogs do get gunned down there, and now conscripts push their way forward and will deal with the javelin troop. Up here, we do have the Dolphin now being split. It's there. It does take out a ore collector. Trying to go for a Tesla coil there. The Tesla coil is receiving a bit of fire. Now you have some more conscripts advancing forward with some hammer tank support. Conscripts are not hitting the javelin troop, but the javelin troop does get crushed. Satellites do rain on in pump the war factor there. Very nice. One of the hammer tanks do get bombed. The airfield so safely tucked behind its walls. But there's actually a missing wall segment there. One of the Vindicators almost goes down, but they're all still alive. Hammer tank gains some good hits there, destroying some wall segments. But the hammer tank itself does go down to another small bomb run, not fully loaded. Let's get inside that garrison. We do got these Vindicators pushing way forward, trying to get a nice bombing run onto these forces. So players just been eyeing just mass expansion. Though both players have gotten all their expansions. Pyrocopters are now engaging the garrison. And this garrison now is completely frozen. Multi-gunner turrets have been pulled on out. The garrison does get shattered. When the bullfrogs do go down, Hammer takes the bullfrogs advancing forward with 1 terror drum support. But overall, he's just sort of stringing these forces at one at a time, letting the Pyrocopters rip these guys apart. Does get an effect there onto that Prospector. Does get some good garrisons in there, getting a lot of javelin troops in. Vindicator bomb run pushes the way forward. We'll see some bullfrog fire. And that Vindicator could have gone down, does go down. Javelin troops do pop on out, getting some great damage there. Garrison will not stay up for much too long. There's actually a flak trooper inside as well, which does get gunned down there by the Riptide. And these Riptides are going to make their way up north. Construction yard, MCV does pack on up. Didn't receive any laser locks there, so sustained some constant fire there. One reactor will go down. Cash bounty will, of course, give it a bit of a cash rebate. And there goes the ore refiner as well. Ore collector will be next, does go down as well. You have a number of Stingrays now being deployed on out. He does not have a Crusher Crane in this region for repairs for the MCV. Stingrays going to make their way onto land. Over here, we do also have a Natasha out in the field with some bears and a V4 and a very wounded bullfrog. Interesting composition. Stingrays are pushing their way forward. They're going to receive some bomber runs. And they're now dead. One Vindicator still has some bombs left, needs to fall it back. Soviet player is lacking any anti-aircraft support. There's multiple Vindicators as well as Cryocopters, so he needs more anti-aircraft support. A lot of it. Riptides are now making their advance. Guns down the bear. B4 do roll a misser, and that's a lot of Javelin troops. Orcopter does get frozen down as well. Got the level 3, level 1 satellites running on in. Gets a pair of Javelin troops there. Nothing too significant. Bear is pushing way forward. Natasha needs to get inside that garrison as soon as possible. There we go. It needs perhaps I to hit those Javelin troops there. First airstrike will come forward. I'm not sure what Natasha's doing on the inside. Natasha's now fully down. Too many Javelin troops there. Now we've got the Riptides and Javelin troops are advancing forward. That's an Apocalypse tank. The Apocalypse tanks are going to get ripped apart by that Javelin troops. Does shrink one of the Apocalypse tank. Both of them do get shortened.
Armageddon is here.
He needs to test their airstrike to hit this force. Warcracker does go down. The Battle Lab may just want to be sold off. Needs some bears. And these Apocalypse tanks, they're shrunken. And the thing is, by the time they get unshrunken, the shrink rates are back off cooldown. Apocalypse tanks advance forward. Desolator Strike rolls a miss onto these Javelin troops. And some of these forces are getting crushed. Javelin troops are advancing forward. That's got another refinery there. So let's go ahead and take out that ore collector. Apocalypse tanks advancing forward, but they can get easily shrunken then frozen, no problem. I don't think a shrunken Apocalypse can run over infantry either. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let's get a nice roar there. Yep, you cannot crush infantry. Even the largest tank can't crush infantry when shrunken. And now they're going to be frozen down. They do receive a lot of misses from these forces, but they're still shrunken down units, so they're completely worthless. Super Reactor does, of course, go down. And it's packing up all those Javelin troops. The problem is you may want to keep them unpacked with the, if you're trying to go for the naval, hit the naval expansion. It's pulling out Crusher Crane there to crush the Ore Collector. And now we got a cash bounty onto the ore refinery. Ore refinery, or Oil Derrick, does go down there. And let's see, it will not manage to gun down that Javelin troop. Vinegar is pushing way up north, trying to get a nice bomb run. A lot of targets up here. And when I say a lot of targets, I mean 3, and a bunch of wall segments. Let's go for a bomb run there onto the MCV. Get some good damage there. Meg's now in pursuit. Gain some good kills there. Only 1 kill, looks like. Let's, of course, have the Crusher Crane there. You can perhaps park the MCV next to the Crusher Crane and get some repairs for free.
Here I come.
Something was shrunken down. It is a Prospector that got shrunken down. And now these Riptides are going to find their way to this. Well, yeah, I forgot about all the Javelin troops inside of them. How did I forget that? The Ore Refinery will go down to these Javelin troops. Now just the naval expansion to deal with. We do have the Soviet MCV redeployed over here. Not sure how much credits he has left. He's going for a reactor there. Looks like he needs to blow out a reactor before he can blow out a refinery. Could have done that a little bit earlier with the crusher crane. Honestly, deploying out some sentry guns to when he deploys out his refiners wouldn't be half bad either. Stingrays have been picked up. Go ahead and drop off the Stingrays in this region. They have their legs ready to be dropped off. Apocalypse tank being picked up. Okay, he does lose the MiG, not the Apocalypse tank or Stingrays. Combat Engineer does get gunned down there as well. He's trying to repair up. Desolator strike. This is all the Javelin troops there. Does lose his force there. Prowcopter is being pursued by these MiGs. MiG does go down. Now the Riptide's going to advance over to C. He needs to get the Stingrays and the Apocalypse tank. Honestly, the Stingrays could go back over here, but the Apocalypse tank could be aggressive. Motor Gunner turret has been deployed out, sending some missiles up into the Apocalypse tank. Blowing the Apocalypse tank needs to go down. Apocalypse tank does go down there. Crowgen has been called on in, freezing out most of its infrastructure there. And now the torpedoes going to hit the Shield War Factory or the Naval Yard, and that is the end of the replay. It's Anna Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. No, that's what I'm going to call it me for tonight. I'm getting a little bit tired, and the network connection seems like it has not been improving. I've been getting a lot of frame drops. Either way, I'd like to say, everyone, thank you for watching, and get a good night's rest. Enjoy.